amazing people. I'm, of course, Shae the Red, and welcome to the Red Valkyrie Presents. I have my amazing co-host here with me, Alex, aka CY.borg. Valkyrie, how you doing, Alex?
I'm waving. That should tell you how with it I am right now. Yeah.
That's helpful. I appreciate the wave. And before we introduce our super amazing guest, I did want to point out Alex has a little bit of a different background going. So for anyone who doesn't know, unfortunately, my father passed away a little over a week ago, and so Alex wanted to do something special. So everything between now and Thanksgiving is going to be in dedication to my dad, who you can see there, who was a total fucking badass. Seriously, the world is worse off without him for sure. And we are joined by another badass. We have Mr. Jimmy Palmiotti. How are you doing, sir?
Good. I'm looking at these. First off, sorry about your dad. That's tough. I've been through it. I've been there. But the photos of him, like that one with the mustache, it's so awesome. I want to hang out with him. You know, he has that face, that smile. That you know, you just want to hang out with him and listen to some crazy stories, you know.
Shae, who's that pretty girl I keep seeing next to him?
I don't know. That's a young me.
I kind of have the same hat too. I have that cowboy hat, so I didn't wear it today.
Yeah,
I have the same kind of hat. But
I mean, so my dad was like a biker and a mountaineer guy and a kung fu guy, and like he taught me how to throw knives when I was growing up. Like he's just if you say cool, like he's cool. That's what he was. So he's amazing.
And you dressed as Painkiller Jane, which makes sense. You can throw knives and do all those things. So it definitely is.
You know.
It's
that
awesome.
was the funny thing. So my mom was going through stuff. She was like, "You were talking about Dad throwing knives, right?" And I went, "Yeah." And she goes, "Here you go. These are for you." And I just pulled it out. The first one I pull out is bench, and I went, "I think that's the one that hit the rock like first couple of throws."
Oh.
But so I now have a set of throwing knives.
It's not as easy as people make it look in movies. Like they make it look so easy, and I'm just like, nope. No, I said more times than not, most people have no idea how to throw a knife. You know, but that's a good skill to have. You know.
It is. He always told me he was going to get me like a garter belt with throwing knives in them as like a wedding gift.
You put it into the belt. I like that. That's a pretty cool look.
Yeah, just
Unhinged is asking if I still have a blogspot account. I don't actually have that account anymore. Had that years and years ago, but I just didn't have time to do it, you know. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
You know.
Devoting yourself to making comics.
Yeah, you know, it's like you know the internet can suck a lot of time out of your schedule if you let it, you know. And I love doing. I love talking to people online and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I have deadlines like everybody else. You know.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, so I'm super excited because we have been trying to work out schedules to get you on for really any of your like 5,000 projects that you keep launching on Kickstarter. But we finally got it to work, and of course it is for Painkiller Jane, where you know we got this venomous vixen with red hair, and it for some reason speaks to me. Who knows why?
It's pretty obvious why. You even had the glasses on before. I was laughing. I'm like, oh my God, she's full in. You know, I love that. Yeah.
Well, that was the funny thing. Is my dad had these just lying around. I was like, oh my gosh, those are the perfect glasses for this.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Shae, I need you to achieve that eyebrow shape.
She's
She's
almost there. What are you talking about? She's almost there.
Almost.
I just didn't. Why you gotta call me out when I don't do my brow game? That's just messed up.
Mine look like two caterpillars died on my face. Like two caterpillars just went there and decided to die.
At least they're not still wiggling.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who was that Trudeau that had like a fake eyebrow and it fell off at one point? There you go.
Oh my gosh.
So even I'm looking at the screen. I have two accounts on Kickstarter. One is paper filmed, one is under my name. So the paper film ones, it only says I created 2, but I actually have 17 on the other one. So I've done 19 altogether, but
yeah,
just, I kind of made two
that's so many.
2 campaigns.
Right.
You're just starting out.
I like it. Okay, so
my first one is
everyone help poor Jimmy.
My first one was in 2014.
Was there a Kickstarter back then?
Yeah, it just started. Kickstarter just started, and I read about it in some magazine, and I was like, oh, let me see if I can make this work, and then I did it, and then like 800 people afterwards started asking me, how can I do that, and how do you do that, and it became I became the guy who was showing 9,000 people how to do a Kickstarter. Eventually, I told Kickstarter, I'm like, you guys should be paying me at this point, because I think half of the people in comics, I was showing them how to do it, and then they started having me talk about doing Kickstarters at like conventions and stuff for them, which was very fun. I just was, I love the idea that anybody can do this on some level. I think that's like the most charming part. And for me, it's I can do my own thing and not be censored, because that is a issue I do have. Like this book, the Painkiller Jane book, is completely adult. There is nudity, there is violence. It's over the top in every which way, and I feel on some level that's my job, is to take that to the next level. To kind of I feel we have enough comics in the comic shop that are safe and kid friendly, and this is not kid friendly unless you're that young kid that just wants to look at stuff that shouldn't be looking at. Then this is
does it ship in a brown wrapper though?
Like,
it does ship in a brown. It ships in a cardboard box.
Okay then.
So yeah, actually, when you get it, you have to open it up. I put the books in a backing board and a bag with a certificate if it's signed. I put that in a white bag, seal the white bag, put it in one of those mailers, cardboard mailers, where you go like that, and then tape it up. So yeah, your mom's not going to open it. She's going to look at it, and,
My mom's in her 70s.
Like,
I don't think she could get past the tape.
Your mom might use it to hold the window up that doesn't stay up. She might use it like that.
Yeah.
So.
At least it's sturdy enough for that, right?
Yeah, it is pretty sturdy. The mailers. The worst thing you can do is have a Kickstarter where you don't have great mailers, because people will return the books if they're even bent a tiny bit. So I make sure they have the post office has to work really hard to screw up.
Yeah. All right. So why don't you give us a rundown? I know that Painkiller Jane isn't like a new kind of story, but for anyone who maybe hasn't gotten in on the series yet,
sure.
Why don't you give us a rundown of Painkiller Jane?
Sure. Painkiller Jane was created in 1994 by Joe Quesada and I for a comic company we had back then called Event Comics, and we put out 2 books. We put out a book called Ash, about a firefighter superhero, and Painkiller Jane, which was our like tough guy, tough girl type book, and we put it out for a couple of issues, and I've been putting it out ever since, through a lot of different companies, but and we had, I think in the 2000s we had a TV movie on Sci-Fi, and then we had a TV series that was like 22 one-hour episodes with Kristanna Loken, who was in Terminator 3. She played Jane, and eventually I had the book at Dynamite Comics, then I had it at Icon at Marvel, and decided that I needed to do the book myself, and that's where Kickstarter came in. So if you've never heard of the character, the good news about this book is that in the first 3 pages, I explain everything about who she is, what her origin is, where she started from, and a pretty much a catch-up for anybody that never read the book. Now, it's a 44-page story, but the first 3 pages are sort of like a catch-up. And then, so it's a story about Jane has to take this... her friend, she has a best friend who's Maureen Fernandez, who's a detective in New York. She's like Maureen's lethal weapon. Jane will do anything, she'll do anything for Maureen. Right. And she Maureen asks her to take this mafioso guy's great granddaughter to Sicily. So it's like a story about Jane and this girl going through Italy when everyone's trying to kill them, and it takes place in Italy, and the story takes place in Italy. I've been there many times, so a lot of stuff I've written is places I've been. And it's illustrated by Romina Moranelli, who actually lives in Italy. That's why I kind of did the story for her, because I said, all right, if somebody's going to, draw this book, I want somebody that really knows the place. And yeah, and it's a crazy story. It's over the top violent. Again, it's sexy. It's adventure. It's sort of like a I want to say it has a little bit of John Wick mixed with a little bit of kick-ass woman. I mean, Jane, when we did her when we created her in '94, we made Jane a bisexual character. It was never like what the story is about her being bisexual. It was just that's who she was, and so we always kind of have, in the book, we always kind of cover her relationships with guys and girls a little bit, which is fun stuff.
Just gonna stop right here.
Yeah, there's a little shower scene, but nothing funny going on there. Just two gals talking to each other in the shower. But it happens in everybody's house, right? I mean, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But
totally.
But it's a pretty, it's like a nonstop action story, and it's just, if you're familiar with Jane, it's pretty much in the vein of the books I've been doing, and if you're not, it's like a film noir type action book with that's kind of sexy cool. and violent. Yeah, a little over the top.
Oh, I love that. So I was gonna say my two favorite genres, and specifically I love seeing them in comic book format, are the kind of crime noir action type and horror. And so the fact that this is hitting like noir, it's hitting, some of that action. It's just a kick-ass like girl who's gorgeous, obviously. Like that's so badass.
Yeah, she, it was when we created Jane back then, the popular character was like Lady Death and it was very, very buxom kind of characters. And when we did Jane, I used to write in the script, Jane is a B cup. I used to write that all the time. Jane is a B cup. Do not make her bigger than that. But everybody, they can't help it. Like, a lot of guys have not been fed like by their mother's milk, So they're out there, And
that's
again,
not B.
And we have Jennifer Van Dansel, she's a cosplayer. It's fantastic. She actually did the makeup, did a bullet hole, and then she shot her photos for the cover. So she's a good friend, and she did a cover for that. And then we have Amanda, my wife, Amanda Connor, did a really naughty adult cover for that book. And there's a little ghost image of it there of her in the shower. And that's, so Amanda did something. And then Alex Sinclair, who is Jim Lee's colorist, Alex colored Amanda on it. It's stunning. But the thing about it is that we don't show it until people get the book. So it's the kind of fun thing about Amanda's cover.
It is teased on your Twitter. I saw it
is today. Teased a little bit, yes, tiny bit. And then if you go back, that whole sheet, that was a sticker sheet.
Which one? This one?
Right there. So that's a stretch goal. We're like 1,000 away. Maybe this show will put us over. And then everyone that backs the physical thing gets a sticker sheet, and those are all the stickers on the sheet. So they each come off.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the stretch goals. So even anybody backing it right now actually gets all the stretch goals. So that's the good part about coming in late,
Shae, I think this needs to go on your Chromebook, the bottom left one here.
Yeah, that's Amanda. Yeah.
That is awesome.
So for those who aren't familiar with this, what's kind of her power? I guess it's healing, since she's all shot up and not dead.
Yeah, she heals slowly. It's not like Wolverine where she kind of gets shot 10 times. She actually feels the pain. She actually, when we first did her, we had her like she was going to take painkillers and all that stuff. And then we said, well, that's probably just a terrible representation to put out there.
Then the opioid pandemic or epidemic came along. And
yeah, well, but I mean, so Jane sort of like heals slowly. And she's like, so she kind of does, she throws herself into stuff once in a while because knowing she's going to be okay, but it doesn't always work out for her. And the story is less about her healing powers and it's more about story. Like I said, people compare it to Wolverine, and I said, yeah, but Wolverine, it's about his, Wolverine's most interesting when it's just about Logan. And the same with Jane. I think the powers are just something she has, but the story is mostly the context of the story is more important than her powers. You know, it's not a superhero comic. It's a little bit more crime, and it's very grounded, real world stuff. So it's you know, it's my alter ego. I you know, it's the if I could be somebody, Jane would be it, because she's just got a really great way of looking at the world, and in the most, I guess, in the most basic way. You know, she keeps everything simple when the world's a very complicated place. She's probably not very
right. It's like the whole, you're gonna, instead of living in any gray area, she's just gonna move things into like black or white. Like, okay, this guy bad over here, and it's like, okay, but what if he's doing something bad for good reason? She's like, no, bad. He's bad. That's it.
Well, and she always goes, that's somebody else's problem after I'm done. You know, it's okay. But we got some.
I'm busy.
Yeah, exactly. And we got a lot of cool covers. That's a Josh Burns cover, who's one of the artists that does my Red Sonja covers, because Amanda and I are writing Red Sonja right now. And
just saying, Shae, you could have done this cosplay like the rest of it.
Yeah, and that's a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. That's Bill Sienkiewicz, who's just brilliant. Awesome. And then that's J.G. Jones and Brian Haberlin. That was my guys from Black Widow when I was doing Marvel Knights. You know, they did Yelena, they created Yelena and everything. And JG's fantastic. And then that's Jennifer Van Dansel, and she shot these two photos, and Dave Johnson kind of did the design with the skull and put it all together. Again, I have very talented friends.
It looks like a movie poster.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
It's I would hang that on a wall in a heartball. You know, actually, my whole thing with the covers are, I feel like they have to be so good. You know, they have to be wall worthy. Otherwise, I don't want to look at it. You know, and that one, of course, I put on my wall. It's kind of mesmerizing. I
can't imagine what you mean.
You know,
hypnotic.
And I was breastfed. But the other one here, this is, so we printed only a bunch of these, and in the campaign you can back a level that either I draw in it or Amanda does remarks in the barrel of the gun. So the book comes out, it's a black and white cover, and then she does like a black, white, and red drawing on the inside and signs it. And like that's a special pledge level as well, which is pretty cool. We're trying to think of everything we could for this one. And I had a lot of the Twitter people, the Twitter and the Kickstarter people telling us what they wanted. So this is a lot of giving the people what they want kind of campaign.
Can I just say that, so I have a bit of a merch obsession. And there's two things that I would love to see you have on the campaign. One of them, everyone knows, I'm sorry, y'all are just going to deal with it, patches. I love patches. So we've got these really cool jackets that are bomber jackets. Yeah, and we've got, in fact, I can actually show it because I've got it here.
It's like you're talking about like a cloth
our giant logo.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like an embroidered. And if you decide that's something you want to do, I know a guy I can hook you up.
You got a guy? You got a guy?
I got a guy. His name's Tony. He's a real good person. We love him. Tony's amazing.
Does he does he do like small ones too?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And does he do a big quantity?
You can do whatever you want. So he'll print them on demand. You don't have a minimum. It's just the more you order, the cheaper it ends up being. Right. Well, you don't have to
hook me up with Tony then, because I love the idea of a cloth patch. I never even thought of that until you just said it. Because what could be better?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I feel like it's fitting. Like, she's kind of this super badass, and if it was, I feel like she would 1,000%. Thank you, Frog G. Everyone playing bingo along. You just got a square.
I know a guy. Patches. What other bingo squares?
Yeah. My thing with Jane is she's always shot, so I can always, like, patches could be just like bandages with her logo on it.
And you could even do like bullet holes or something like that. You could do like Painkiller Jane and just have it all shot up with bullet holes. And so there's so much.
All right, I gotta talk to Tony. All right.
And the other thing I would love to see, like, would just die to see. She's so fucking beautiful, and all of your, like, the paneling, the way that things are drawn, the way that she's portrayed. I would wear her on a t-shirt in a heartbeat. And I'm telling you, look, if you want someone to help you with merch design, you let me know. I did a couple for Art T-Bear. I've done some stuff for a couple other people around, like Adam Lawson, who does the Kids and Monsters. I did something for him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You know, t-shirts are tough, right? Because you got to do all the sizes for the Kickstarter, and then you have to pack them separate from the books. Right?
Not necessarily. So you can pack a t-shirt in a Gemini mailer if you fold it up right. You can pack it with the shirt.
Oh, put the book in the middle, put it in the book in the t-shirt, and then
you could like fold it up and put it on top and put the book at the bottom and then fold it over. Yeah. So it does fit. It does fit.
And it provides extra cushion for your book.
Yeah, exactly. But then if you can also have it, so the place that we go through can do all over printing. And the t-shirts end up costing a little bit more, but the graphic design of them is so amazing. Like the print quality.
Is it silkscreen or is it those flat?
It's direct to garment. So it's not silkscreen and it's not melted in. They print it on white fabric.
Oh,
so
okay.
Here, I'll show you.
Cool. Oh, so it's like so white shirts, and then they print the color on.
Yeah, basically they can turn a white shirt pitch black if that's your background.
Really?
But everything is dyed all the way through the material.
No
so
kidding. Look at that.
It's so vivid.
This is the kind of stuff, and it's super bright. And no, it's a skater dress.
Oh, it's a long dress. I see what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
very cool.
The skirt shows it the best. So like
that's beautiful, and that's all cotton.
I think it's rayon, but it's really it's super soft, and it's not like their t-shirts aren't as thick as the dresses are. The dresses are a little thicker, but they're really comfortable.
Okay.
The skater apparel is made to be slick.
And you got a guy for that, right?
I actually design a lot of this, and then we go through a store, like we just do everything through Printful, and you can, again, from there, you can have them send them directly if you want to put in.
Something to think about. Yeah. I mean, the patch one, I'm sold. The t-shirts, nice. I'm the worst folder of t-shirts, so I'd have to get Amanda to do those. Because I go like this.
Look,
I roll them up these days.
I'm gonna get back. I'll be back home. I'll be back in Maryland in a little less than a week.
Yeah.
So I get back Tuesday night, and I'll take some stuff off of the campaign.
Yeah,
and I'll work up a couple mock-ups and show you and give you an idea.
Love to see it. Thank you. That's awesome of you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Look, this is how this goes. The reason I get down into thank you, Ollie.
I am
the reason
listening.
I get down into
look, I'm making notes. It says a big note that says Tony Patches.
Tony
Patches is the most important one.
Hey, Tony Patches. Well, that's his mob name. I just gave Tony.
Well, look, if they fell off a truck, you got a discount.
Tony Patches.
It's fine.
My father's name's Anthony. So
there you go.
So
yes, I love it. The thing with merch design and the way that Sai and I both approach it is that we want to help make merch that we want to buy, and I want stuff that I would actually wear. And the thing I'm sick of is people are doing T-shirts, and they're doing T-shirts of like the cover of their comic book, and it's just a square. And I'm like,
yeah, I don't like
dude,
that.
You could do so much more.
I could just staple my comic on my T-shirt if I want that.
Exactly.
You know what? I got to tell you, you said something that's really important, Jay. You said you want to make the things that you want to wear. I do the same with the comics. I write the comics I want to read, and I'm hoping other people like it. And that's always been my thing. It's like, because I'm like you. I'm a huge consumer. I buy. Look, my office is inside a comic shop, right? So I have to walk by all this stuff all the time. And I'm like, oh, let me get one of those. Let me get one. And I don't have any more room in my house. I have to be honest. It's like I every year I take around Christmas time, I just fill up boxes and give them, to
Shae's bought one.
I bought one of your guys' boxes.
Uh-oh.
I was like, oh, look, it's a pass from a con 4 years ago.
It was like a merchant badge from a con from 2017.
You know what? Somebody wrote me. They said, I was looking through your mystery box, and I really enjoyed the ET finger that lights up, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, you know, you didn't see that coming, though, right? I'm like, you didn't see that coming.
Oh my gosh, this is
the mystery boxes are my most fun thing to do, because Amanda and I walk through the house and we say, oh, we don't need that anymore. You know? All right. And my first mystery boxes, one of the first times I did it, I took all my rock shirts and that I had from like the 70s and 80s, right? And I folded them up, I ironed them, cleaned them, and I put them in the mystery boxes. And I got to tell you how so happy some people are like, oh my God, that's an original shirt. I said, yeah, I actually got that from a concert I was in 1979, Rolling Stones concert. And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, and I realized, like, I'm a sucker for mystery boxes because I love the idea that I have no idea what I'm going to get.
What you just bought?
But my brain, when I'm making them, is like, I always say I have to put enough in it that it's worth so much more than they paid, right? Because otherwise you're going to feel cheated. But then I throw in the weird stuff once in a while, and actually the badges I keep from the cons because I always think that's like kind of a fun thing, It has like the con, and Amanda and I sign them. But boy, I put some weird stuff in there. I think I got gear. And,
I got some kind of like I got a T-shirt from some local like music store, I think, is one of them that I got in my mystery box, and I was mentioning it and I was laughing about it, and so I went, wait, what was the name of that? And I said it, and they go, that's in Florida, like that's near me. I was like, oh my gosh, I should send you the shirt then.
So I don't dox where I'm at, but we're under an hour away from each other, Jimmy.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, next time I come down to see Sai.
You can't be west of me, so I know you're east.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're west of me, you're underwater right now. But
or I'm a Scientologist. So
you're Scientologist. Yeah, I mean, well, the shop I have my office in is Emerald City Comics. Have you guys ever been there?
Shae.
Yes.
Remember that comic book store we went to on was it 49th or 19?
It was on 49th. Yeah.
Yeah, remember the big one we went to that had the, the stuff along the ceiling, and that was Emerald City.
Yeah.
What the fuck? We were there?
Yes.
My next time you go in, just say, "Is Jimmy in the back?" And I'll drag you back and give you a tour.
I could not make Shae go into the section that had the minis over on the left-hand side.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, man. I mean,
she's an addict.
I had a mini addiction for a very long time, and several $100s later, I finally broke it away. So we're gonna not try to re-up that. That's an expensive ass hobby.
I'll tell you a funny story. When I moved down here years ago, but I used to live in Brooklyn, New York, obviously born and raised. And I had an apartment filled with like hundreds of the statues, these limited edition statues. Because every time I was working on something, they would send me, oh, they made a statue of this book you worked on, whatever. And I had them on my walls. And when I was moving, I realized that they will all be destroyed in the move. Like there was no way.
Yep.
So I had invited all my friends over, and I said, anybody that wants anything on my walls, take them. And it was like a feeding frenzy of people grabbing shit off the walls. Because a lot of the statues I got too were like number 3 and number 5.
Yep.
And one guy's yelling at me, he goes, "You should put them all on eBay, blah blah blah." And I'm like, you know what? I said, that's why I have my friends here. I want my friends to have this stuff. I'm like, but one of the guys grabbed so much stuff and he eBayed half of it. I kept seeing it on eBay and laughing. I'm like, oh, that was mine.
I was gonna say, now you have less friends, so you do mystery boxes.
Yeah, no, I do mystery boxes because I also get rid of some of my older comics. Once in a while, you'll get one with some older comics in it or some weird stuff in it.
Yeah.
I have to do, for Painkiller Jane, I have to do 20 mystery boxes because they sold out. And I've been making piles. I'm just going to grab 3 things off the shelf. I'm going to tell you that I'm putting in the mystery boxes because you can appreciate it. Okay?
Oh, this is going to be great. I'm so excited.
So let's just take these.
Wolverine's jockstrap.
I have to wear the jockstrap first.
Oh my god!
So because I keep finding these little things. Like, okay, so there's a Painkiller Jane figure, which is always a good
holy
thing to
shit!
Get, right?
Hold on.
Oh my gosh! And
it glows. It glows in the dark. Look, if I put it closer, her boobs turn into. Oh no, it didn't do that for a second. Oh yeah, you see this?
Oh yeah, there it is.
That's the
green screen. Reflection from your green screen.
And then there's a Milo Manara sexy girl with her butt showing.
Oh, nice.
That's kind of neat. That's from Italy. And
wow.
And I found this thing. It's an iron. It's a Power Girl.
Oh, fuck.
But it weighs like a half pound or almost a pound.
Well, yeah, it's all
my gosh.
And what this is from is when I was in I think it was in Spain, and they had these on display, and I said, oh, I got to get a Power Girl one, but you know, after a while, it's like a lot of stuff, right? You have your house is full of stuff. So I tried it. So I've been making piles. I unfortunately, some Halloween candy will be in some of those boxes because whatever they don't grab out of my thing is going to be. There'll be some chocolates, but they'll be covered correctly.
Some melted Snickers.
my AAA card, my old AAA card. You know,
nice.
You know, my kidney stones. Where are those? I can put those in there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
There you go. But anyway,
what is it with calming crows and kidney stones? I
think because we sit down a lot, and the caffeine to keep awake. And I think the caffeine, I think anything dark soda, like dark sodas and coffees and iced tea cause kidney stones.
No, it's there are two kinds of kidney stones. There's one kind that's based on calcium, and there's one kind that's based on citric acid, vitamin C. And so if you have a Mountain Dew addiction, if you had a surge addiction, in my 20s, I had kidney stones from drinking so much Mountain Dew.
And nothing hurt. Man, they hurt.
That was.
I kind of love Mountain Dew. I haven't had one. I haven't had one in like years. But I remember I was inking 2 or 3 books a month, and I would order from a local Chinese restaurant. I would order like a thing of ribs, a thing of rice, and like 4 Mountain Dews, and I would work all through the night. Like I'd work all through. You know, and then I remember I got on a train in the morning and my hands would be shaking and I would be bringing pages up to marble, you know, because I had to do the book overnight or something. And
here's my page.
Here it is. Don't mind the blurry backgrounds.
It's motion blur.
It's an effect. It's an effect. But I remember walking in and then I'd hand it in and then my whole body would just shut down. Like I would get on the train back home in the subway, and I'd be like, you know. But Mountain Dew, you know. Now that you say that, Mountain Dew it was probably a Mountain Dew kidney stone.
Yeah.
You know. And
see, this is what worries me. I've been military for 15 and a half years. The amount of energy drinks and soda that sustain my lifeblood, like. Right. I'm lucky I haven't had anything, but I'm just waiting for like.
Oh, you might be hydrated enough that whatever was in there passed too.
And that's the funny thing is that because we're military, this is the worst thing ever. They like to put up a color chart in the bathroom, and they show you the green area versus the red area on if you are hydrated enough or not.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
So I'm like, well, at least I know I'm hydrated. It's literally color coded. It's horrible.
And that is half the battle with kidney, because when you have kidney stones, they keep telling you to drink because it keeps the stone kind of floating in the kidney instead of scraping around the edges and causing the bleeding. I remember when I got rid of them, they did it with sound for me, so I had to. I was
the ultra,
you know, and it was wild. I mean, but I don't want them again. And I got to tell you, when I was walking in Times Square when I had my first kidney stone, and I thought somebody stabbed me. Back. Like I hit the ground, and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on, because when you don't know what it is, you really have no. It's like. And I was like, what happened? Like, did somebody stab me? And the guy, I remember I was in front of the Nike store, and the guy came out. He said, "You okay?" And I'm like, I feel like I was stabbed in the back. And the guy went to me, kidney stones. And I was like, what? And he goes, "You got kidney stones." I'm like, "You think?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." And I didn't feel better until they actually told me you have kidney stones. You know, because I thought, oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. You know,
like somebody hit you with a hypodermic needle.
It feels like someone shanked you and broke it off.
Yeah, and snapped it off. And I just remember thinking, like, oh my God, is Exo-Zero going to be my last comic? You know, because I remember handing it in and then getting a kidney stone after that. So I was like,
oh my God.
is that the one I want to go out on? You know?
Yeah, for me, I was in my early 20s. It actually happened in this house. The pain started hitting, and I laid down because I just couldn't keep standing, and I had to crawl to the phone and call an ambulance.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
It sucks, but you haven't had them since, though, have you?
No,
Okay.
and you know, more power to you that they gave you the ultrasonic breakup deal. They handed me a bottle of Percocet and a strainer and said, "Have a nice day."
Well, I'll tell you, when I went in, they said, "Do you have medical coverage?" And I said, "No." And he goes, and the doctor said, he goes, "Here's the deal. If you pay us in cash, we can do it for $4,000 tomorrow." I swear to God. And it was like his doctor and his 2 assistants came in right before Thanksgiving, and I paid them cash. I handed them cash, and they took care of me. And I'm like,
Wow.
I don't think the hospital ever saw a dime of it.
Probably not. Especially if they came in right near a holiday.
I should have called Tony Patches.
Yeah.
Tony Patches would have had you with a nice hookup.
Tony, you would have patched me up like that.
Yeah. I mean, you still have the kidney stones, but you have some nice patches to go along with them. It look nice.
He would have made a nice patch of the stone itself.
It's like a 3D patch. It's texture.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Did they at least give you good drugs in the hospital? Because for me, they gave me Demerol twice.
I still have a lot of it because I was like using them sparingly. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Europe on a plane for 9 hours. Oh. You know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's go over the stretch goals, which you've already unlocked, and what we're hopefully going to get toward.
Yes, I was wondering when we were going to get there since I was hovering on that screen.
Okay, so the first one we hit, and that's the digital comic. So we take one of the old Painkiller Jane books, and everyone gets one. So it's a digital comic, and the 60,000 is the sketchbook. So it's all the drawings by Romina done in pencil and laid out in color. So we created a digital sketchbook. It's like 20-something pages. And I do the first couple all digital because I want the digital people to also get the tiers, you know, because we don't send physical stuff to the digital people. But the third one is just for the physical tier, and we're almost there. And that one's the Painkiller Jane stickers. So I already, you know, I sent them out to the printer because everything's taking forever now. So I just assumed that I'm going to hit 70. And I'm hoping I do. You know, with the problem with Kickstarters, you guys might know this, is the last minute people cancel for the hell of it. They're in for the ride and then they cancel. So a lot of times my stretch goals get hit and then it goes back down. And I'm like, oh. That's
the good thing about Indiegogo. They're charged up front. And
it's true. I do like that about Indiegogo. I've been doing Kickstarters since forever.
Yeah.
Well,
I wish they would do that with Kickstarter. I keep telling them to do that. And then at 80,000 is a top secret thing. I don't even know what that is. That's how secret it is. I knew what it was, and I locked it away in my brain. And I know when I see the 80,000 hit, it'll come to me. But I know at 100,000, it's a brand new book, another book. But I don't think I'm going to hit it, but, you know, I dream big, right? So I dream big.
Well, you know, Jimmy, you could always take your Kickstarter.
Yes.
Port it over to Indiegogo in demand and just let it sit there and make you money.
The only problem with that is that sounds great, except I have to figure out what I'm going to print and print more books and then constantly go back to print. And I'm a one and a half person. My buddy Patrick's got a full-time job. So we're only a couple of people. It's a lot of fulfillment when you do that kind of stuff. And I got to be honest with you, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm already working on my next book, so I can't.
That's true.
You know, so it's great when you, like, I love Brian Polito, how he does, you know, I'm so envious of Brian because he's got a crew and a warehouse, and I'm just not that guy. I'm a little, you know, I'm like the two-seat table in the restaurant. You know, I'm definitely not the big family table.
Put all those customers at Emerald City to work. They come in the door, say, you know what, you can have some autographs, but
they do get the books, the guys.
Stuff the Geminis.
I give the whole staff at Emerald City the damages.
Nice.
That's not true. I give them the books. They help me carry them all the time. So when the trucks come, they're a great bunch. I love those guys. So, anyway.
All right, so let's go over 40 minutes in. Let's go over what people can pledge at, all of your different tiers, so they know what they can get.
All right, simple support. I don't know if you feel like you want to pledge $1 and you get nothing. I will say your name out loud outside my house if that helps. $2, I will yell your name in my backyard.
Like, thank you, Tiffany. Right. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, George. And so that's that. So $6, you get the digital book, PDF, and because you're in the stretch goals, you also get another Painkiller Jane comic, and you also get the digital sketchbook. So for $6, you're getting 3.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. Holy shit.
And $10, you get the 3 books. Plus the script, in case there's a lot of writers that want to see the scripts and see how they're done, so I get a lot of people back that are mostly just want to learn how to write scripts.
Now, is the scripting just the dialogue, or is it like directions to the artist?
Full script, directions to the artist. My artist is Italian, so some of it's a little overstated because she doesn't speak English.
So it's a lot of bada boopy.
It's like, hey, what are you doing? What do you that? Nothing sounded more natural than bada booping coming out of your mouth this time.
Thank you.
Right?
Big Family Guy fan.
Forget about it.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
She's just recoiling in horror up there.
All right, let's see. Okay, this is the bundle. So this one you get Painkiller Jane Heartbreaker. You get the Trust the Universe, which is a PDF, which is a book. I think it's like a 96-page book. And then you also get all the stretch goals and stuff in it. So so that's a big digital one. Okay. And then for $20 is the regular book. That's the Romina Moranelli cover with the 3 girls on it. Beautiful cover. And you also get a digital copy of the book. And
is
you
it
get
this cover?
Yeah, that's it. And you get the stretch goals. And by the end of this, you'll also get the sticker sheet. So for the $20, you get pretty much everything. It's pretty cool. And then this one is Jennifer Van Dansel. This is the cosplay cover edition. And let's see, it's the one. Yeah, that one.
Is it this one?
That's the 25. Yep. That's a limited one. There's we kind of limited some of them to keep them collectible. But you get that cover, you get the PDF, you get all the add-ons, all that kind of stuff. So it's 36 backers. So by the time it's done, let's say it gets to 50, we only print like maybe 70 or whatever the sets are too. But so these books don't have giant print runs. So if you get a cover, it's actually a collectible. It's a lot more collectible than we don't print tons of them because I feel with the Kickstarter I have to keep things limited to the people that buy it. So
yeah,
as a friend of mine says, I just buy it so I resell it, and I'm like, well, that's you do whatever you want. I can't control. You can roll it up and hit your dog with it for all I care, but don't hit your dog.
Don't do that. Though.
Does not deserve that. Anyway,
don't do that.
we have a J.G. Jones variant, which comes with everything. They go up like a couple of bucks each one because JG, that's like a little tougher to get that one, and it's the one right there with the 3 girls on the cover, and it's very cold in Italy. I don't know if you noticed, Jane.
I see that.
Very nipply out.
It's fine.
Give the people what they want, right, Shae? Give them what they want.
I feel you. I understand that.
Right,
and this is fulfilling next month, by the way.
Yes, because I'm actually. So the campaign ends next week, and we just set up everything with the printer today. So all I have to do is call it in the minute we hit, and he told me he can get it in 3 weeks, and the only problem we were having with paper, so we had to go after the paper now. So that's what we're doing. We're trying to because Marvel and DC bought up all the paper everywhere. And so we're hustling to try to get rolls of paper. So I just picked a 80-pound paper for the inside, 100-pound plus for the cover. So it's crazy stuff you got to do when you have a Kickstarter. You got to
make friends with Canadians and people in the Pacific Northwest.
I have so many Canadian friends. They're completely useless, but I love them.
Tell them to bring you syrup and paper. That's all you want.
I asked them for paper, and they bring paper towels, and I don't know what to say to those people. This is a version of the cover with me signing it. So it's $28. You get the book, you get the signature, you get a COA, You get all the digital rewards. Like I said, every one of these things you're getting a decent amount of stuff, which is kind of nice at the end of the thing. And there's the Josh Burns cover, and that's again another limited edition cover. That's the white one.
Is it the white one?
Yeah,
am I going the wrong way?
It's probably Well,
there we go.
Here you go, and that one's pretty cool. And then what do we got next? Bill Sienkiewicz.
Which is the dark one, right?
Yeah. Well, you look at that cover closely. So it's Jane in the car in Italy. See Italy in the background. She's rolling down the window. She has a gun. She's rolling down. And in the window reflection, if you look on the top, are these bad guys. See them all with the cigarettes?
Yeah.
So much going on with this cover.
It almost looks like he's holding onto the end of the cigarette with his teeth, and that's the filter almost. That'd be really funny. He's really stupid.
He's a bad guy. They smoke cigarettes backwards, bad guys.
he likes the taste of filter.
Everything's twisted in their heads. They're not thinking right. So we got the Sienkiewicz one, and then the cosplay one by Jennifer. It's book limited to 100, but again, we go by what it's been. So there's 25 backers for that, but also all of these books are in the sets. So a lot of people buy the full set of covers. Right?
Is this one now?
Yeah, it's that one. Yeah.
Okay.
So we just got a sale. I just noticed. Okay. And then there's Amanda's cover, which you don't get to see until it's.
By the way,
can I say I love that.
This makes me giggle every fucking time I scroll by it. It makes me giggle.
Well, because people said, "Is the Amanda cover kind of just lettering?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "What kind of monster do you think I am?"
Have you seen Amanda's work? Since when does Amanda go, you know what? I'm just gonna write my name, and it's gonna say Amanda Connor Mystery Adult Cover, and that'll be it. That's all that we're doing.
I'll show you. She did a cover for Rage. I can hold it up, and you guys can see it. Because this was the mystery cover for Rage. Now, it wasn't an adult cover, right? It was just a cover that Amanda did for the Rage for my last Kickstarter. It's got spot varnish on it. That's why it's a little tough to see, but it's such a cool cover.
And it's so cool, though.
And it was colored by Alex Sinclair. And this was the last Kickstarter, so it's a hardcover. I had to go to a new printer to do this because it had a lot of pages and it had a lot of binding stuff to do, but pretty crazy book.
Well, now you've dented it by hitting it, so just put
that. Copy. This is my copy.
No, put that in my mystery box. It'll be fine.
I do weird things with this. Anyway.
Oh Jesus.
Oh gosh.
I do. I test the paper quality. I do have to see if I can damage it, for my shipping, but you can't. It's hardcover. It's fantastic, and printed in the USA, folks.
Nice.
And then
this is signed by both of you.
Yeah, me and Amanda signed that one, and then there's the Connor Mystery covers in black and white and color. Okay, yeah. So we're doing like a printings of. I wish I could show it, but that's the fun of the Kickstarters. You don't see it till the end. But it's definitely Amanda's covers are keepers, and
So you get the line art of her adult mystery cover.
Yeah, you get the two books. You get the adult cover, you get the black and white line art cover, you get all the digital PDFs, and you get all the straight stretch goals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then so that's a remark one. That's the barrel of the gun, and I draw something in the barrel. It's the black and white one.
Very cool.
I do a drawing. So that's like the full cover, and I do a drawing in the Painkiller Jane in the cover. I do color one in there so people can see it, And that's the fun of the black and white covers. They have a cover color piece right in the middle, and we sign it. And see, only 3 people backed that one because why would you want a drawing by me? But we get to the Amanda one, it's a little better. And then this is just the level where you have all the covers, a bunch of the covers. So you get all that stuff and you get all the stretch goals. So it's a big box of stuff. These are going to be like boxes.
Crate.
Yeah. And then that's the remark. Amanda, I think we sold 25 or something of those, right? That's her doing a drawing in it. 26 backers, so 24 left of 50. Amanda hardly ever does them where she'll draw in it. So, that's like, if you keep going, you're there. And there's that Amanda drew a quick one. She did a quick sample right there. And
I think Shae kicked herself. 1 second.
Oh, there she goes.
Yeah, I didn't kick myself.
I know Shae went and backed it. That she went offline, she went and backed it, and then she came back. Very slick, Shae. I like that. Yeah,
I normally back that.
And then we have mystery box. Wait, are there any mystery boxes left? Let me scroll down. I don't know if there's any.
1
left
of 20.
Okay. The Jane mystery boxes are going to be fun. I didn't know there was one left. You know why there's one left? Because we sold out last week, and then people for some reason they back it, and then 2 weeks later they decide they don't want to back it. I can't figure out what people do. But when they open up, so that one just opened up because I sold out of those last week, and now there's one back again. That is nice that they do that, so we can sell it again. That person's a fool for letting the mystery box go, because I am putting something special in one of them, and that's way worth more than what they're going to pay for it. That's the fun of doing those things. No jockstrap though. I don't really wear them. I don't really wear them.
I'm refunding.
Yeah, and then this is a retail level, so if you do the math on it, it's more than 60% off the cover price. I do sign them all; they all come with a certificate of authenticity, and we send you a special book as well. So I had a retailer actually put this together for us. But
very cool.
Hardly ever sell the retailer packs because the retailers don't want to. We got one backer there. The retailers don't want to bother them. We did a $500 retailer packer, which is based on another retailer who said, "Well, I want it where I can have enough for this many and that," and nobody backed it though. So,
Yeah, the retailer perks are always a little bit tricky, and I think it's because it's when you do these kinds of books, they're a lot more indie than what is normally hanging out in the stores.
I mean, that's why we did the. So if you see the books come all signed by me, they come with a certificate of authenticity. They're all beautiful shape, bagged, and then you get one you can sell for $100 or whatever. So I made it so that they're not going to get stuck with them. Like there'll be something, at least what we estimate. And again, I had a retailer do this for me, and I was like, okay, we'll try it, but they don't, they got other things on their mind. But I always offer a retail level because I do want to support the retailers.
So one of our audience works in a comic shop, so I'm trying to bully him into buying one of the retailers.
It's okay. I mean, he works there. He doesn't own it. If he was the owner, I'd say get on him.
He's good friends with the owner, so he can.
There you go. Well, we'll do. If he backs it, you let me know. We'll throw in something special for him.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the big retailer one. That's 25 signed books, plus you get a bunch of stuff, and that one's $500. It's expensive, but if you do the breakdown, it's 60-something% off, and it comes with all this other stuff, and But again, it's not Marvel, it's not DC, so it's kind of tough to sell these things.
Throwing this out there, if you really don't like Christmas shopping, I mean,
yes,
you can buy the retailer pack, and then everyone.
That's true, and give them to everybody. Yeah,
And then you're done with Christmas shopping.
True. I think I should give everybody a mystery box for Christmas.
I would be down for that.
I used to give away steaks, from that.
Omaha.
That place? Yeah, Omaha. I used to get my editors. I used to send them a box of steaks and stuff, and because I was always taught to thank people, the people you work for. So I always and when you do that, you get these steak points. So at the end of the year, I got a giant thing of steaks just for giving away steaks. It was pretty good.
Nice. Look at you picking on Luke. So mean.
Damn right.
Well, my shop is not imaginary. Does Luke have an imaginary shop? Is that what it is?
Every time he's on our show, it's like, I have to go because I have to open the shop early tomorrow. And it's like, we don't believe you that you
Nobody opens a comic shop very early. You know that. Come on, Luke. We don't buy it. We don't buy it.
I don't even think there is a shop at this point.
I'm going to believe Luke has a shop when he backs the Kickstarter. That's the only time I'm going to believe he has a shop. Otherwise, well, what's the name of his shop?
Oh, I don't remember. I just know that he works with a lovely lady named Vanessa. I can't remember the name of the store.
Is it Luke's Comics?
It's on the east coast of Florida.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Luke, dox yourself.
Does he? Is it? I'm trying to think of the ones I know on the East Coast. What's that big one?
Well, see, regardless of what it is, it'll never be as good as my LCS that ended up closing here. Here in Maryland, because that was named. It was run by a guy named Fudd. And it was called Fudd's Rabbit Hole. And for the longest time, every time we passed it, I 1,000%. I was like, "This is a strip joint. There's no way." And then I looked at it, like, "Oh my god, it's a comic shop."
Yeah, did other rabbits think it was a sex shop? You know,
I thought it was for a long ass time.
Because my cats ask for food, they call it Fudd. So I'm just. It's interesting. I mean, it's one of those things in the Yellow Pages. God, we don't have Yellow Pages anymore. But I mean, the title of the shop is a little deceiving, right? I mean, you'd be like, "What is this place?" until you see it.
You know? Wow, not bad, Luke.
All books and comics.
You're a 4.7 out of 5 on Google, and you're the number one search result when I search comic book store in your city.
Oh, was that Fudd?
Nice.
No, all books and comics.
This is
that's the name of the store. All book and comic.
All books and ampersand.
Well, it looks like he
comics.
wrote all book and comics. So they maybe just have one full book, and then
there's one book.
There's just one book.
One book, but lots of comics.
Somebody better not come in and ask for that book. Then they have to change the name of the shop. It's just all comics.
No, they just get another book. They only sell one book at a time. They have a bunch in the back, but they'll only bring one book out.
They tear the last page out and then hold it for ransom for you if you come back. I used to do that to my brothers. I used to tear the last page out and then
God.
They read the book and then they go, "The last page missing." I'm like, "You want that last page? You got to do something for me."
Hold on.
That's horrible.
I gotta show something.
There you go. That's this comic shop. Is
that's Luke on the left.
Oh, Luke, big Luke.
Is that Luke? Luke? I don't see the Luke.
Luke's got his wallet and a chain. He's got that chain wallet going on. See that?
Dude, Luke's
this
badass.
Is April 2018.
I would not mess with Luke.
I prefer this picture for some
I
reason.
wouldn't either.
Is that Luke in his Spider-Man outfit?
No, that's Luke on the left. There have been some changes.
Squirrel Girl.
Wait, Squirrel Girl is Luke? No. Okay. Oh, look. No. Oh, it has an S on it. So
it's trying to get their beat.
Okay. It looks like it's somebody's house.
There you go.
It looks like somebody's house. Who lives upstairs?
A little bit, yeah.
Hey, who lives upstairs, Luke?
Well, earlier, was it this year or the year before? I think it was this year. Somebody legitimately somehow hopped that curb, which is not a small curb, and drove through the front of that store.
The guy that's looking for his last page of his book.
Space.
Oh, really? Was it like an older woman? In Florida, it's like old ladies that hit reverse and keep going.
Yeah, I think it was.
They took out this railing?
It was one of our... Yeah, that railing didn't stop anything.
No, they took it out. They took the railing, they hopped the curb, and they took out the front of the store.
Aww. Here we go.
Yay,
that's a nice photo. Look at that.
We love Luke. Luke is our brother. We love him to death. He's super badass.
Well, his comic shop looks awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
I agree. I don't know why Squirrel Girl is
why? There's nuts in that tree. There's nuts in that tree.
Is that it?
The Squirrel Girl's got to get those nuts.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally take that out.
I think does Luke live upstairs from the store? Because there's a whole house up there. Oh, look.
I don't think so, but that would be kind of awesome.
Do you think Flash hates waiting in line for anything?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Just.
I don't think Flash waits in line for a damn thing. I think that Flash will queue for social norms, but will zoom to the front, grab what they need, and zoom back, and be like, "Yeah, it was totally. I didn't do anything."
I'm tired of waiting now. I'll catch you guys later.
All right, Luke. This is Luke was a guest without being here on the.
Oh, see, and I think that Lucas said he talked to you and stuff. Yeah, in 1986.
He looks familiar to me too. Luke?
A 67-year-old woman drove to the front of his store.
Well, she had to go somewhere. She had to be somewhere.
She needed comics really, really bad.
She did. She wanted. We gave her a 6.2.
We've got many books.
Well,
oh my gosh!
As long as everybody was alright. I don't. What's the tree thing? What's the tree question? I don't hear a tree question.
I don't. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jason, who is another good friend of ours, has a question that he likes to ask, and he wants to know, what is your favorite tree and why? Like, if you were a tree, what tree would you be, and
well, that's two separate things, right? That's two separate things.
Yeah. The second one, the first one.
I do like the ginkgo tree, which is a Chinese tree. It was gifted to New York City, I think in the 50s by I think it was China, somebody in China, as a gift to New York City. So these trees that were not supposed to belong in New York popped up all over New York, and they were beautiful leaves, and they were called ginkgo trees. And I thought it was the coolest thing when I was a kid to see a ginkgo tree in the middle of New York. God bless you. Now, if I was a tree, obviously having the last name Palmiotti, you would think maybe a palm tree, but I'd say I'm more of a live oak than anything, because I've been around for a long time. I'm pretty sturdy.
Lots of nuts.
And lots of nuts. Certain seasons I have lots of nuts. You know how that goes. Like every 3 or 4 years, it just drops a ton of nuts. I don't plan on dropping my nuts this year, but I definitely I think a live oak, because squirrels and snakes like to live in them. I don't know why.
This is so fun.
My house is surrounded by them, so they're kind of cool.
Well, at least it's not palms.
Plus, the stuff that hangs down, the moss, right?
Spanish moss, yeah.
Yeah, so Spanish moss, I don't know if you know this, in the 50s, Spanish moss, they used to sort of microwave the Spanish moss, and they would use that for the inside of car seats. They would stuff car seats with moss.
That's weird.
I don't know, but they're just bug infested.
Right, well, that's why they would microwave or heat them up, kill all the bugs.
To kill off everything.
And the moss would be used down here. They used to stuff car seats with the moss. It was like
wow.
I never knew that.
So apparently Luke interviewed you.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I was going to say, you've met Luke before. He used to do a show called Back Wednesdays.
He looks familiar.
Yeah.
I haven't been to his shop, but he looks familiar. I used to live above his shop for 2 years. I never came down.
Then an old lady hit the front of the store.
A hose from the ceiling. And I just drank the water when it rained. I never came out.
Oh, Jesus, Jason.
Oh, no. Stop. Jason, just stop. Terrible. You guys are hilarious.
Shae, we got to ask the pizza question, since Jimmy used to live in Brooklyn.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what is the best pizza topping, and why is it pepperoni?
Okay, well, here's the thing. Here's the problem with pepperoni.
Oh, shit.
When you cook pepperoni on a pizza, it lets out an oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
That onto the cheese, right, and onto the sauce.
Yeah.
So pepperoni is a thing that's put on if your your plain pizza isn't good enough. Because if you make a really good pizza, you don't need pepperoni. You don't need anything except the cheese and great sauce and a couple of spices, a little garlic, a little oil, a little oregano. Okay, but if your pizza's, it's okay. Throw some pepperonis on it. It'll get oily, but it'll be a better slice of pizza. But you don't start out. You don't start out by putting pepperoni right on a pizza. It's sort of like putting salt and pepper on your food before you tasted it. You just don't do that. That's not.
I do both of those things all the time.
Yeah. No, you have to. So Einstein used to interview assistants, and he would take them for lunch. And if the assistants put salt and pepper on something before tasting it, he wouldn't hire them. Because how would you know something needs something just by looking at it?
This is why we don't have cold fusion today, because salt and pepper before is brilliant. So.
Yeah, and Isaac Newton never got hit with an apple in his head, by the way. So just so you know, I read that today.
Oh my God.
Isaac Newton never had an apple hit him in the head.
Holy cow! Sai, do we have any other questions in the chat?
Whoever said anchovies, you should block them from coming on this show. Okay. No, but don't. You want to eat anchovies?
Sumo.
Go somewhere else and just eat some anchovies. Don't throw them on a pizza. It's horrible.
Don't do that to pizza.
It's
pepperoni, onion, green pepper.
Yeah. You see that? It's not pizza. That you're just making something else up. I mean, it's just something else. You know, it's like the more stuff you put on a hamburger, it just means the meat's not tasting great.
That's like saying you can't put sausage in a calzone. Come on now, Jimmy.
Well, you could put a sausage. Well, that's very sexy, right? I put my sausage. All right. Anyway, if you like a sausage calzone, sure, that's your choice. I'm just saying, if the plain calzone is fantastic, you don't need the sausage.
That's it, Jimmy. Next time I come down to Florida, we're going out to an Italian restaurant.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take you to a pizzeria near here, and they do they do a Detroit pizza.
Which one?
It's a square. It's called Nona, and it's in.
I've heard of it.
It's in Safety Harbor.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Luigi's on 66th and Park Boulevard.
Right.
Does a really good calzone.
You like your calzone? Do you like pepperoni in your calzone?
Actually, yeah, it's not bad. You know who else likes sausage in her calzone? Painkiller Jane.
Painkiller Jane?
Yeah.
At times, not all the time.
Well, I mean, sometimes she prefers
like
a little clam.
Sometimes she just goes right down on the calzone. But anyway, so I answered your tree question. I answered your pizza question.
Oh my God, Jason!
I'm so broken.
I'm so glad that you're a moderator on this channel so that you could curse.
Pizza Hut is sort of like when you have no money, or you're in college and you have no money, or you like to eat cardboard with some stuff on it.
No, that's Little Caesars.
Well, that's true. I've never eaten it, but
I have. It's horrible and strangely addicting.
Yeah. Well,
No, it's just horrible.
That's a lot of things.
It's horrible and upsetting.
But I mean, it's when you don't have an actual pizzeria in your area. That's when you buy those kind of pizzas.
That's true.
Look, I love the crazy bread.
All you have is like fast food pizza.
Let's just be real.
The crazy bread's the only thing. That's the only good thing in there. Everything else is just garbage. The crazy
garlic
bread,
butter,
you can just
Parmesan bread.
You know what? What's his name? Sumo. How do you say it? Sumo. Tori.
Sumo Thor.
Sumo Thor.
You know what? You should put anchovies on your Pizza Hut.
Anchovies and pineapple.
And put them in. Drop the little circle and put the anchovy, like bed it, like circle it.
I really like pepperoni pineapple pizza.
Oh my God.
I have to go now.
Jimmy's like, that's it, I quit.
If you want to put pineapples on your pizza, just don't do it around me.
Shay, what did we eat when we went to the pier?
Fish?
No, scallop mac and cheese. That's right.
It was not good.
It was not good.
Mac and cheese is only as good as the cheese is. The cheese has to be amazing, otherwise.
And you still have to season the scallops. You can't just pan fry them with nothing and then throw it in with mac and cheese and be like, yeah, it's scallop mac and cheese. And it's like, this is horrible. You guys, when you have your food channel, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. We can talk. I can talk about restaurants. Amanda and I, every new restaurant that opens within 20 miles, we go to. We try it. And we try it twice in case they screwed up the first time. We give them a second shot.
Right. You always give them a second chance.
Always give them a second chance. And I'm one of those people, like, if it smells like anchovies, don't eat it. It's too easy of a joke to make.
Yep.
But anyway.
That's low-hanging fruit.
So, Painkiller Jane Kickstarter's up for another week.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm hoping some people.
Did we have any other?
No.
Did we have any other questions?
We addressed them as we went.
Anyway, I have. This came out today. That's Red Sonja.
Awesome.
Amanda and I. We've been writing a crazy Red Sonja series.
Can you get a little closer on Sonja herself there?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it up the book so you can see some of the art. There you go.
Did she do the cover?
Yeah, Amanda did the cover. This is more attached to the inside though. It's beautiful.
Oh, I love that metal panel on the right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
the
inside of the book is beautiful. I mean, he's
who colored it?
Justin Moritz. He did it himself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he colors his own book.
That is beautiful.
It's the 5th issue. It's Amanda's cover right there, and it is a wish fulfillment book. So Amanda and I both love Red Sonja. So we made a list of everything we always wanted to see Red Sonja do in one book, and it's 10 issues, and we literally go down the list and go, okay, fighting mermaids, okay, volcanoes, okay, killing the 100 guys, all right, bar fight, okay, having a steam bath with another girl, okay. But we went down the checklist.
That is awesome.
This series is like a wish fulfillment of writing.
Next issue,
Sonja, you know,
have her by hand decapitate somebody. Just no weapon, just her hands.
All right, just pulling some guy's head off.
Yeah, like Predator.
Pop it like a zit.
Actually, I have a prince. There's a scene where I have a prince walks in on her mom getting serviced by another king, not his dad. And while he's on her, he severs the head of the guy on top of his mom.
Nice.
And it's such a brutal scene, but shit happens, you know.
Yeah.
You know. But there you go. That's comics.
Shit happens, you know.
As long as you have the anime blood geyser in the next panel, I think that.
I wish I could show you because it's such a geyser. You would love it. And then this was the first issue, I guess, uncolored Amanda cover.
Oh wow.
Battling mermaids. And just this series is just Moritat. Probably, I think he did some of the best artwork in his career on this. But
that top right panel totally looks anime. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's his style. It's his style.
Yeah.
He did for a couple of years. He did All-Star Western with me. You know, he was the artist on. There's some cool stuff. I know the green screen's making it look right now. It looks like it's.
I love it though. That's so awesome.
It makes it look magical.
It's just because I can look mad. I fade away sometimes. It's getting weirder as we talk. I think once we brought pizza and trees into this, I think everything started getting strange.
Yep.
So
it did. Right. It got. We rapidly went downhill.
And the anchovies.
Well. Seriously, Jimmy, thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad that we were finally able to get you on. This has been phenomenal.
This was a lot of fun, you guys. You know, anytime I can talk about pizza, trees, and comics, I'm here. You know. So.
Yeah, you know what? That's just Red Valkyrie in a nutshell. So pizza, trees, and comics is kind of what we do.
True.
It might be the name of the next podcast: Pizza, Trees, and Comics.
That'll be when we're just shooting this shit with Comic Bros. That's what we'll call it.
Nice.
We do love to talk about food, so you know.
Let me get my sausage in your calzone. That'll be our next one.
Glad you.
And on that note, thank you everyone for coming, Jimmy. It's been an absolute pleasure. Shae,
thank you.
Awesome job.
Thank you.
And good night, everybody.